Mike, Pat, thank you so very much. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to step away from that speaker there. Thank you so very much, Mike, for getting the order before I jumped up here. I want to thank all of you for everything that you have done to make me the Democratic nominee. Thank you, AFL CIO. Thank you, Palm Beach County. Thank you, working men and women. Now, I just want to share with you that, you know, we have a big race coming up. We have a three-way race that's coming up. I mean, it's already happening. We're within 60 days of Election Day. We're even closer when it comes down to early voting, absentee voting. But the nation is going to be paying attention to what we do and how we do it from this point on. It's very, very important, and I'm glad that Mike mentioned that I've been there from day one. And there's been a lot of, you know, my mom said there's a strange frog that doesn't praise his own pond. And I think it's very, very important that we realize that this is about what we do. It's not about what other folks do. It's about what we do. Now, I am the candidate that's endorsed by the AFL CIO. And the reason why I'm endorsed by the AFL CIO, because I stand up for individuals who know what it means to punch in and punch out every day. But I stand up for people that's trying to make a way out of no way. For individuals that know what it means to be stepped upon. Individuals who need someone to stand up for them. I lost count in the days in the Florida legislature. I've lost count in the days in Congress that I stood up. Even when I knew we were going to go down, I still stood up for a greater fight for the next day. And what this is about the record, ladies and gentlemen. When we were running around here trying to get minimum wage for people that are punching in and punching out, Marco Rubio wasn't with us, and Charlie Crist wasn't with us. Matter of fact, the governor went as far as to vote against having Enterprise Florida endorse, or voting for Enterprise Florida fighting the minimum wage hike in the state of Florida. The governor wasn't with you, and I'm just going to tell it the way it is. This is not negative campaigning, this is education. Okay? The governor wasn't with you when the AFL CIO got through the Republican legislature money for apprenticeship programs for people to learn a trade. Vetoed it twice. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? We are in a fight. And in this fight, it's important that we have everyone who's standing up for working men and working women in this state in that fight with us. That's right. Now, we're going to win, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to win. We're going to win because we have nowhere to go but up from here. Yeah. We have nowhere to go but up from here. People want to be a part of something special. We won the primary election because we had that special something. We were able to stand up on behalf of people who were stepped upon. We were able to say it's not okay when you work all your life and then you have folks that stand up and say, why are you getting the pension that you're getting? You're already not making enough money, and then they want to take your retirement from you and villainize public workers and those that are working every day. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the candidate that stood up for financial reform. I didn't quiver. You didn't have to come and find me. I was out front of making sure that we never ever have to bail out Wall Street again. It's important that we understand that. Let's look at the future. I talked a little bit about the past. Let's look at the future. The future is about who's going to fight on behalf of this state. That's right. We have double-digit unemployment right now in the state of Florida. Who's going to pull a double? Who's going to pull a double to get people back to work? Who's going to be able to speak without talking points on the floor of the U.S. Senate, even when Democrats are acting crazy on working men and working women? Who's going to have the fortitude? Who's going to have the fight in them when you're not watching? Now, thank you. I want you to know that this race is going to be about who votes and who doesn't vote. We won a big race. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, bear with me for one more second. We won a big race just 2 Tuesdays ago, and we're going to win one on November the 2nd.
Yes.
But between now and then, I need you to do what you did in the primary. And your member-to-member program of making sure that working men and working women know who's there for them. And it's going to be very, very important because we must make Alex Sink the next governor of the state of Florida. We must stand up for Dan Gelber. We must make sure Loran Osley become the next Chief Financial Officer of the state of Florida. We must make sure Scott Maddox make it. We must make sure Ron Klein makes it. We must make sure that we continue to fight all the way down on the Democratic ticket that's on the side of working men and working women in this state. It's very, very important. Now this race is going to get close at the end. Don't let anyone fool you. There are those that are trying to shut this race down from the beginning. It's almost looking at a twig growing up saying, let's try to pull it before it turns into a tree. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm like a weed. I'm rooted into the ground. You can't even, once you think to pull me out, there's a lot of root there. And let me tell you something. You are the root of my campaign and my candidacy. And when they pull, you hold. Yeah. When they pull, you hold. You're not holding just for me, ladies and gentlemen. You're holding for your families. You're holding for individuals that are standing for you. You're holding for those individuals that are injured on the job and need somebody to be with them. You're holding for those individuals that are unemployed, that are looking for someone that's going to fight for them while they're looking for a job. You're holding for somebody who doesn't believe in tax breaks and should go to companies and shipping jobs overseas, that my 2 opponents signed a pledge that they will hold, make sure that they continue to keep their tax credits. Ladies and gentlemen, this is education. It's not negative campaigning. And I think it's very, very important for those individuals that are running around here that are saying, oh well, I'm gonna go over here because the air is thinner. Well, let me tell you something. Under this pavilion, we know what it means to be hot in the kitchen. We know what it means. We know what it means to be in the workplace trying to organize and folks looking at you funny. You're fighting for them. You're fighting for better health care. You're fighting for that 15-minute break they may get in the morning and 15 minutes in the afternoon. So I think it's very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on. I am the only candidate in this race that will stand up for working men and working women in the middle class in this country. I'm the only candidate that's saying, as it relates to the tax cuts, that it goes towards the middle class and small businesses and not to the super wealthy. My other 2 opponents are for that kind of ideology and saying that we should keep things the way they are. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to victory. We will win, just like I told you we were going to win in the primary. We moved 33 points in 3 weeks. That wasn't by accident. That was because we believed. So I want to thank you for inviting me here today. I want to thank you for your endorsement and your prayers. I want to thank you for the work that you do on behalf of working people. And I want to thank you in advance for the victory when we win on November the 2nd. God bless you is my prayer.